Andu ne kubaram pigeonholes, ne kubaram silos. Abano bo mundu fulani, abano bo mundu fulani. I will pay for your fare to follow me to go through Western and address public meetings and go and make your decision anytime you are ready. That is how you'll gauge and find out who is listened to and what is the intensity of the listening and what is the messaging and what is the appreciation of the message.
Nakuchana kumalizi omwami khunende timu ya viongozi baluya babola bali omuluya lasima 2027 abe khwidebe. Of course khwabonewe nende timu yokubola mbo 2032. Encore what's your take? Baliyo babola bali lasima za 2027 so khulinda 2032 ile atai sana khwenya za 2027.
Yes, there are those who say kazi bora and babola bali bora kazi. Sindio? There's those who run. There are also those who also run. That is politics. Eweno chemu siyasa. Wali ya bolanga newenya kwamba hakamechi okela
esimbone wambo
kolesimbo. Newenya kuingila wibuta. Newenya kubeya wipanga. Omundu anyafu tu khazuna bola senenya. It is one thing saying that. Is another having an impact. Look at the national profile of the country. Mahulo lembo, efwe nga a community, where are our best interests served? Museta apu, enyala ya khwambusi yanzoya, khwacha khwanja khukhola kakandi, na mwe set apu, niyo khulacha khwola nzoya karikari neliaro lifunikha, na khwakamama. It's up to you to change. In politics, omundi yezi anyala khutangasi is but the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
Mwami Mateba Gabiri, Teba Dikutanga, bandu kuri Western Kenya, kugeragera kubenu mdoga mula, so that komele our bargaining power mserekali. Na Teba Yakabiri, ingaragani yo.
That is a simple answer. It's a work in progress.
Okay.
It's work in progress. Watch the space. The problem we have with our community, ngano panga zasindo hata ohaka chilota silly out there. This time around we are working differently. Yes.
Mbona niyo neri hako mradi gwa nyota chigirandora bangere nibahego tisendi ziyere kusiri na mbere asendi zeneza ni sendi zegenda kana abaguguri bakole obukarama biranje ko serikali anaho ni kuri a revolving fund ngaraga niyo neri ha ano home heza abana sendi so that you would them chigira ikora ibe mu muhigamla.
If you look at manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza, these are not things that are just opportunistic spring-ups. Lambo, there's a bottom-up economic agenda. Empowering young people, empowering women, making young people stand on their own. And how do they stand on their own? If you tell them to go to banks, they have no security. If you tell them to go to circles, they have no security. There is a process of identifying. It is not just getting people saying piga laini. They are identifying people who have an idea, who have a program, who have a business program, who can, you can say, me, I buy and sell cereals. And if you go to the villages there, a person who buys and sells cereals with 20,000-30,000 is a lot of money. They can do business. Of course, there will be some who you will give money and the next day you see him carrying mattresses and bicycles and radios home. That is not business. But the majority, I've even been talking to people who are borrowing money from Hustler Fund. There are people who come to me and say, I have survived on Hustler Fund. Every morning I go to the market, I borrow 2,000, nanunua mboga, nauza, jioni, nimepata 400, narudisha hiyo 2,000, nimepata faida yangu naenda. And as you do that, you become more credit worth and so on. This program, it is not a Kenyan program, by the way, it's a World Bank program. It was started by World Bank. It has been piloted in many countries. and it is working. Whether it will work here, let's see, but I encourage it. I encourage our youths. Let's win our young people. Yani kwa advise our young people umbo. Chikazi chia kuibo eta nyoche mu office chilindit. Sejnya cha accommodate for sita. Ne no halnyo le kazi ya kucha mu office nende tie nende suit is not the end of life. It is just an alternative. Valio atu ne kuimili siasa. Valio basolele alio msolele mutaoni muno umukikuyi. When I was in active legal practice in the 80s, na represent umsolelino kanulo mundu sibete ku street bamutimane bamutila bamupakaho aje mukoti namukholele case for free malanga kamala nekeja kumbona alinjeteho I live decently. I gave that boy 5,000 shillings in 88. Kacha kanji siya biashara nga newspaper vendor. That fellow owns in town here more than 50 matatus. From that 5,000 shillings. Nenjamukura, he brings me money as a donation. People can grow. It is a question of priorities. Olene chelefu 10, wenye obukula omukhana omulayi uche mu hoteli, na mwenye uche okhole biashara. Olene chelefu 10, wenye uche opilekho kumubili pole, na mwenye okhole biashara. It's a question of priorities. And you can see our communities in Gaivakisi, they have done very well in business. I'm sure you see. Community in Mount Kenya, they have done very well in business. I encourage Sisibandu Befwe, Siakava State Hundulamia Asara, who generate wealth, who change Maisha Kefwe, a Bazereja Singapore, in a Kahule Matawa.
Mwami, nishuru kwa sibu yango wane parting shot hiyo Reverend Protas Makonere ya hambo mbene kureba mwami tafadhali kulondakana nawe kulende shinshi langwa Religious Leaders 2024 bill ili yakaba nitia mu Senate nilo mole mrongo kulondakana ndo huimera ama debu aunde kulondakana nawe msimamo kukulea kulali chira abimrisi bawo khane bamadini balo bali betse dini balo bali bolanga lila kono libeo.
To begin with, I've heard that before. A bill is a serikali. I think he'll sponsor the Mungatano or somebody. A National Assembly. The National Assembly, I'll give my views. I don't vote, I don't debate, but I have a view and I've got authority. Well, Bishop, no pastor. Reverend, not to worry. The Constitution of Kenya guarantees freedom of religion, freedom of worship. And it will be important to guarantee and protect those freedoms. Yes.
Yeah, parting shot you man.
Kholamali khwali maisumami nabono mubungo mami na bina bwera bolali. Ori muna kuba yeta ku negotiate chi project nende president ali lukali bibile kubola kama kwa highest number of chisoko.
Yes.
And the improvements muchi KMTCs and the TVETs.
Absolutely. We have lots of KMTCs in Western. Takuombaka hostels, chi polytechnics, hostels from affordable housing. And I see Momo Amina B because it answers your question. No, President Kechanga Western and the million chiran. No Chatham be cool. Chevaya school. Takuombaka dormitory worth 170 million. No cha National Polytechnic ya Sangalo. Ho mbaka chi hostels chi accommodate abana chelefu chibili. Ekisiwa chi accommodate abana chelefu chibili. Shamberere ho mbaka. Isoko Mautuma ho mbaka. Everywhere. Thank you Mheshimiwa Nabi, and if you sit down I can give you a whole catalog of what is going on in Western. Rural electrification. Bungoma alone Holine and the rural electrification this financial year, 2 billion. Kakamega, 2.5 billion. Fiika, 2 billion. Busia, 2 billion. Taking power to the people. Electricity, to change people's lives. Lakini, wandu wefwe chisa jindala, they see things differently. What I want to finish with is, if we nga a community Western, na anje nende wabunge wefwe kubasaya, na bina bwera Mheshimiwa rumere message yoyo ni secretary we babunge befwe basa ya waendele kuba united, unite a community a community bene nafasi ya who play its rightful role in terms of its numerical capacity and intellectual capacity and ability to work with other Kenyans to change this country. Number 2, saya baba wanasiasa befwe bapungusi siasa ya hulomana nende huhomana. Sikia baliosi ya wanasiasa akana kanali neema ku platformu na hakomile wetana mwe musalia abaseli siasa ta. After abusing wetana mwe musalia, what do you go home with? Nothing. Let's talk, let's work together. Esendi oluno muchulukundi akhabeo wamaroka bao, muliroka bao, mudavadika bao, mwangaleka bao, all those our leaders, they play their part and left the scene. Shakespeare said life is a stage. You come and play your role, you leave. Somebody else comes and plays his role, he leaves. Husimane, huvesindu silala. Let's be each other's keeper. Let's protect the interests of our country, unite the country by working with everybody. Saya bandu befwe bakamuombelesia mwacha straighter. President Ruto means well for us. He has shown it, he has demonstrated it. Ohole kasi naye ne wenye obomwami o support olio wesinyanga nafasi yone yola obe supported. Omolaka bolali orao kama beka baske bani nako baje babuta kamatunda. Ewe wezo kabali wenya kuja kubuta kamatunda bakurere kama beko ni neko ochobuta kamatunda. And that's the paradox of life. Nolmazo lazima mbese na halukundi nyungu ya ateka, then you are not a good politician.
Uremdo sana mwami Moses Masika Wetangula speaker wibunge ya kitaifa kulwa kunyolobu yangu kwitsokola mulomo inefu asubuhi lero ni nyanginde kukwenya kandi labano nyolobu yangu. Asante sana. Thank you very much murikesi wiredi amdembe fomo kabalia lala nende Vuka FM nende Sulu FM kulwa kunyolobu yangu kulwa kurichiresia akali akabani kalumudu mungwa nende speaker wibunge bado badia bakaba inyuma wa kamera kulwa mpangilio chino cha mjadala kuno kulwa kanande shinga kwa kabani kupanga kano